Welcome everybody back to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Solo Leveling episode 3. Let's check it right out. Let's go. Alright, who's gonna be the new main character? It was all a dream.
Imagine if he woke up and was like, oh my god, my arm, but it was actually his other arm that got cut off. It was a prank.
You're finally awake.
Is the opening extra long, or does the song just sound like it's gonna end, but it doesn't?
I think it just sounds like it's gonna end.
Probably for the best. If you awakened your Nen.
I don't think it's gonna be that easy.
It's gonna be like,
unless it is, and he just destroys.
it's just gonna be like, oh no, you're still weak as hell. Wow. I was gonna say, is he even like anything? He's just a normal guy. Hey man, you got your arm and your leg back. I feel like that's enough. Imagine if that popped up and he was like, yes. But it's like, oh, it's not a touchscreen. Shit.
Oh my god. What a sick joke would it be if it was voice activated? And he's just like...
And even if it was touchscreen, his hand was chopped off.
Reaches up with his phantom hand. Oh no, there's nothing there.
Hey, it's One Punch Man workout.
Oh my god, it's literally the One Punch Man workout. Push-ups, sit-ups, squats, 10k run.
Classic.
Bonus quest. No AC.
Penalty. Imagine how terrible this would be. You know, you're just living your life, and then it's like, oh my god, I'm just trying to get to work here.
Yeah, that's literally what they're saying. It's like, oh, it's so inconvenient.
Yeah. You have to fight something now. Gross.
What?
4 hours?
Objective survive.
I would die just of dehydration.
In 4 hours?
I would die after like 30 minutes of dehydration in a desert.
What?
Just from being stressed out about it, you know?
Sure.
See, next time you should do your push-ups.
It's already gone for 2 hours? Jesus. Is he gonna die in the last second?
No, he's just gonna get out. He's gonna be like back in his bed.
Was the sand in the room too?
I don't know. I want to see if there's still sand there.
Penalty quest. So if he doesn't do his training, then he gets punished by the system.
But he gets a reward.
Your reward is another day, another chance at your daily training.
Turns out he already left. He's been checked out. Doing his daily strength training. Yeah, but weren't your other options like something good?
Wait, he gets 3 points a day? I guess it's not like D&D stats, where like a 20 is fucking superhuman. When did all those people get there? They just all appeared to stare at
You
him
should put some
awkwardly.
points into charisma there.
Yeah.
I feel like this lady wasn't doing her job very well. if he was like essentially a civilian.
You qualify. It's like, standards must be really low. I mean, it makes sense that they would be, because it's such a trouble to the world.
You put any points into speed? Just for you.
Just for you, Buster. Goblins
back
again.
at it. I like how he's wearing the same outfit too. Like he went out and bought the same thing again.
These fuckers are quick. Is this knife made of flint? Look at these sparks. It's just like... It's like fireworks.
Just get stabbed.
Whoa. Captain Morgan?
Well, yeah, just because you're strong doesn't mean your knife is strong.
Lycan. Steel-fanged Lycan.
It's Usopp. We really are in One Piece.
Oh no.
Grab one of the knives from the goblins.
Yeah.
Or just punch it, I don't know.
If he just punches its head off. Oh, the episode's gonna end right there? Oh no, will he make it out alive? Oh boy.
I don't know, that dog's looking pretty fierce.
So I get the need for this kind of an episode. Do you want to watch the ending?
I know, it's okay.
I get the need for this kind of episode, so I'm not gonna hate on it. Like the whole point of it, I was kind of spoiled by the comments last week talking to everybody. Were you spoiled about the only I level up thing? Yeah. So that's kind of our fault for being in the comments and everything. But so you know, I could say like, oh, this of course, but you know, if I didn't read the comments out and I wasn't spoiled, I wouldn't know about the whole gimmick of the leveling up system and stuff like that. So I can't like criticize it for being too slow or anything, because it's you know, it's supposed to be like cathartic seeing him level up and seeing and learning about all this stuff. But it wasn't so much for us because we knew about it beforehand. But my one thing is just I don't understand why they're cutting the episodes off where they are.
Yeah,
that's my only real thing here. It's like
strange.
The first 2 episodes is a
pacing.
weird case because apparently, I don't know this whole story, but apparently, like people have been talking about, the first 2 episodes were supposed to be like part of one release, and then this is supposed to be like the real start of the show. But like at the end here, cutting it off with like at the end here, unless it'll depend on what happens after. Maybe it'll just the fight will get way crazier or something. But like they cut it off last time. At this really climactic moment. They cut the first episode off at this really climactic moment, and it seems like they're prioritizing leaving people on a cliffhanger than actually having a satisfying conclusion to each episode, or like hooking people in with like the action. It's like rather than see him, triumph over this wolf or over the steel-fanged lichen, and have like an interesting encounter. And again, maybe there's something that comes after. Instead, they're trying to do the cheap thing of like hooking us with a cliffhanger when they could just not bury the lead so much.
But they also like
because the cliffhangers don't make sense because we know he's gonna live. So like the idea that we're gonna be afraid that he's gonna die here by this thing is ridiculous, obviously. So then the only logical thing is we're supposed to get hyped up. Oh, I'm so hyped to wait a week to watch this fight with this nothing, mob.
It's also
it
is a weird place because it's like we already saw, like he already slightly fought the wolf thing. It's not like, oh, he defeats these goblins and it's like this moment of triumph, and then you hear like this howl, and then it's like, ooh, what's that gonna be? Or like then the wolf like busts through the wall and he's like, and then it starts. You know what I mean? It's like we have that moment. And then we're like halfway through the fight with the wolf, and then they cut it off.
Yeah, because like a lot of people are kind of like, there's some weird stuff in the comments where everybody's assuming that we like hate the show or something. Because I think a lot of people are expecting us to hate the show because we're usually really like critical and analytical and stuff. And from what people say, there's not much of that to be found in this show. But we're also, open to just a fun action show. Like we're totally cool with that if it's like a fun show. And I'm totally cool with sitting back and just enjoying something fun. But it doesn't mean I'm not gonna have any complaints at all. But it's like we're fine just sitting back and watching. But it's just the problems are not that like I don't even want to. It's not even worth getting into that much. Like there's not much to even like grasp onto. I'm just kind of trying to enjoy the show.
Doing the One Punch Man workout, I like.
I love that he's doing the One Punch Man workout.
That's so good. His hair's gonna fall out soon. He's gonna be able to. His strength is gonna be so leveled up that he can kill everything in one punch.
Yep. I was that's actually you said that you expected him to punch the goblin or whatever when the wolf when his knife broke. I fully thought that he was going to like actually One Punch Man obliterate it, like he'd be way stronger than he thought, and I was expecting that like he was gonna be scared of the goblins. And then it kind of did, where he like cut one in half with his knife, and that was
He's
pretty
like,
cool.
whoa, I'm like kind of a badass
I'm way stronger.
now, yeah.
But I expected like his knife to break, because he's always talking about like how he has these shitty, he can only afford these shitty knives. And then he was just gonna punch one, and their head was gonna spin off like into the distance like crazy.
I think I think that he will still punch this wolf, and it will explode, and then he'll be like, oh my god.
Yeah, I just wish that they like would focus on making the episodes themselves like a better satisfying, and like having that crescendo and that climax, because it feels like the climax is always buried into the first seconds of the next episode. And that's clearly just a tactic to get you to tune in again, and it's just unfortunate, because to me a better tactic is to not bury that lead and to get me excited to see the aftermath.
You do that eventually at some point at like later on in the show, and then you have a big cliffhanger, and then you're like, oh wow, I can't wait to come back because it's a cliffhanger. And so it's like I don't know, like I feel like a lot of shows try to do a cliffhanger every time, and I think that a lot of times it's not successful because you can't be invested in a cliffhanger every time. Like every time it's like, oh, what's gonna happen, but like you kind of already know what's gonna happen, but you're also not, they didn't give you really anything to be like excited about for the fight. Like I'm not like super excited to watch him fight this wolf thing.
I'm excited to see him move on, right?
I'm like, okay, this is like the first thing that you're getting through, and then we're gonna like see where you kind of go from here after your confidence gets built up a little bit.
And if you want to like hype up this fight as like a big step for his character, then put emphasis on it with animation, and it seems like they're they want, it seems like the story wants to get somewhere. It seems like all of this is like stage setting, build up, setup type stuff. Even this fight is, but so yeah, I'm okay with it being what it is. I guess I just wish that it was presented in the, because I don't know how the
chapters go.
Yeah, the source material goes. If it does like cut off a chapter right when he's about to fight, maybe it does, and they're just being faithful to that adaptation. In which case, I don't know. But as far as this adaptation, like I just I wish that they would just. I hope that as it goes on, they because if it feels like they don't have faith in the action, that's what it feels like to me. It feels like they don't have faith in the climax enough to satisfy people for the next episode. So because they don't feel like it will hook people, they result in putting a cliffhanger in. But we're only 3 episodes in, so maybe hopefully it's not a trend that continues for the whole show, because it could get really annoying. Because some shows do cliffhangers really well. Like Code Geass has a cliffhanger like every episode. Attack on Titan has a cliffhanger like almost every episode. And I think it works out in some shows, but in other ones, like the action needs to be, not the action needs to be substantial. The reveals need to be substantial, and what needs to be learned is substantial. If it's a show about fighting and like leveling up and growth and growth through combat, then to cut off the combat every single time and like dice it up between every week is could get kind of annoying.
I do think that the last week's cliffhanger was not bad, because it was like,
that's true.
It was like the fight was over and it was more of like an informational cliffhanger. It was like, oh, what does this mean? What is this like screen thing?
But
you know what I mean?
It could have cut off when he woke up. Like, was it a dream? And then it cuts off. That to me is an even better cliffhanger. Then screen pops up end of the episode. You know what I mean? Like, so you still get the information and you still get the cliffhanger, and like, oh well, what the hell happened? Tune in next week to have it happen. But then you don't get to start out the episode with that little bit at the start, sort of recapping that, and then he wakes up. Instead he would just be woken up, and then it would start just with this conversation. Or like, what if they ended the episode last time and these guys walked in, is like, oh, I see you're awake, and then it cuts to the ending, and it's like, whoa, who are these fucking guys? Who are how is he here? Yeah, are they involved? What's the deal? He's a hunter associate, or is just like, or ended off right when he's about to when they're looking at his tests, and then it's like, I don't know. There's multiple better places you could have left off last time rather than just when he died. In my opinion, but it doesn't matter. What matters is like, I just hope that the trend of burying the lead doesn't continue, because it just shows like a lack of faith in the source material to me. Unless the source material has a lack of faith in the action itself that it's telling, and the source material did the same thing. But I don't know about that. It just seems like they could have ended it off at a slightly better point. But other than that, there's like, it's hard to talk about all the details and all the stuff that he learned, because like I said, we were kind of spoiled on that, unfortunately. Our fault, but so I'm not blaming anybody, but it is what it is. But yeah, anyway, we'll tune in next week for another episode of Solo Leveling. Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.